All right, first things up. The purge, the forever purge. It's really not that deep. Okay. Okay. In a nutshell, in a nutshell, the the conflict was between rich whites, poor whites, and then poor whites versus Mexicans. Once again, the forever purge in a nutshell, rich whites versus poor whites versus Mexicans. Who's missing from that bunch? When it comes to any racially topic tinged charged movie, the main conflict is always the blacks versus the whites. Black people are not a factor in the forever purge. Black people are a non-factor in the forever purge. I thought that was very, very telling. They don't even consider the last one was out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I feel you on that. I feel you. But if it really comes down to a a a an entire country based off racism and classism, you'd have to figure black folk in this. Now, the story is you got old girl from Army of the Dead, the Mexican chick that had her head snapped backwards, Adela. And then you had her husband, right? I forget his name. They fled Mexico. They were fighting against the cartels. They fled Mexico for a better life in America. They moved to Texas. They illegally crossed the border into Texas. Okay. Um, the husband works for a rancher. The wife works at a, what is it called? Not a meat shop. What is a meat? What is that? A slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse, right? And then all the female workers there are all illegal immigrants. Ran and it's overseen by the black man and Adela. Trust me, this movie ain't that deep. This ain't that deep. So then the purge is about to happen. The nice, kind old rancher man that runs the ranch that her husband works for, right? His son is like the managing operator, and he doesn't like Mexicans, right? He's an asshole because he tried to break a horse, he hurt himself, and then comes the Mexican, and the Mexican horse whispers the horse, breaks the horse, right? And then the white son took offense to that, all in front of the eyes of the rancher owner, and the rancher owner's like, "That's a cowboy." Right? So you have all these little racial subplot lines. Okay. So then the purge is about to happen. The nice, kind old rancher man pays all of his illegal workers a purge protection fund, like a bonus, right? And then there's one white guy that works for the rancher. He is considered, he would be considered almost like white trash, right? Okay, he comes into this. So then the purge happens. Adela and her husband go to a church. It's a lockdown shelter, and the church hires mercenaries to guard the place during the purge. This is where all the illegals go to. They travel by school bus. They're all bussed in, and the militia or the mercenary guys, they're hired to secure the people inside for the night. Okay. So after the purge takes place, everybody survives the purge, right? So then you have this group called the Purge Purification, the Purge Purification subsect. This is very MAGA. This is very MAGA-ish. All right. So then all of a sudden there's a bunch of killings, right? And then, of course, law enforcement's like, what are they doing? The purge is over. So everybody's getting their asses handed to them. The purge purification squad, they are many, they are deep, and they're just killing everybody. All right. Anybody they deem of a different ethnicity, nationality. It's a class war that they're waging. Okay. So then at one point, Adela and her husband are separated. Adela's husband is on his way to work. They don't know all this is all going down. Before he gets to work, the rancher, the old nice man, his racist son, his pregnant wife, and his sister, they're being kidnapped by the white trash rancher guy. Then there's this spiel between the poor white trash guy, who's a purge purist, and his cronies, and the rancher guy. The rancher's like, the purge was started by capitalist bankers and the wealthy elites. So actually, you're working for them. And because the poor white trash, he wants ransom. He's like, how much is your wife worth? How much is your daughter worth? You know? And he says, well, let's switch roles. If I'm you and you're me, you have no power. So how do you negotiate with no money? Right? And there's this back and forth thing. So the old nice white rancher says, fuck you. The poor white trash guy shoots him in the head. Right? And then he's about to kill somebody else. So then here comes the husband, the two Mexican guys. They break into the armory. They save the rest of the family, kill the poor white trash guy. The rest of the purge purists, they escape. Okay. Meanwhile, at Adela's work, Adela falls into this trap, this cage with the goat that has markings on it. She sticks her head in, it snaps her neck, flips her over, and then these guys come out of hiding. They're about to kill her. The African guy comes in, saves Adela, right? So then they get arrested because the cops think they killed the people that are trying to kill them. They're like, no, it's a mistake. So while they're in the paddy wagon, the truck gets attacked by everyone. Like I said, it's complete chaos at this point. All right. So then they're locked in there with a white supremacist. The truck flips over. They're trying to break into the paddy wagon. The white supremacist is about to strangle Adela. Of course, the black man comes through, saves Adela. They kill the white supremacist. They strangle him. They get out. Adela, the husband, and then the rancher's son, his wife, and his sister get in the semi, and they go looking for his wife. They find his wife in the overturned truck. They rescued his wife, Adela. So Adela and the Mexican husband, they're reunited. So then the news is like, there's a forever purge going. It's all over the country, blah, 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 blah. So then they say Canada and Mexico will open their borders to anybody that can get there within 6 hours. 6 hours. Okay. You got 6 hours to get to Canada or Mexico. They'll take you in. No questions asked. So then it becomes a mission to get to the border, to get to Mexico. On their way, they encounter more purge purists. One of the Mexican homeboys gets killed. His sister was kind of liking him. They get separated. It turns into a search and rescue. At the end of the day, they make it to Mexico with the help of some Indian Mexican activists / Robin Hood type of guy. So there's this fight at the border. The purge purists are trying to kill them. Listen, at the end of the day, black people did not factor not one damn bit. Okay, the only important thing the black dude did was save Adela from the white supremacists, literally in the first 10 minutes. And then as they're leaving, she gives him a gun. She's like, you saved my life. Come with us. He's like, no, I have to get to my family. And you never see him again. Black people do not factor in this movie. Then at the end of the movie, you see the map. It's on fire. There's fires everywhere. The newscast is reporting there's purge purists all over the country. But then there's a group of people that are fighting back the purge purists. So there's this war between those that want to purify the country and those that believe in all life should matter. And that's how it pretty much ends. Black people did not factor in this movie at all. There's no way you can have a movie about race, class, and all that stuff without factoring in black people. But they figure black people are so worried about nonsense, they didn't factor in this movie. So that was the mini breakdown. It's not that deep, except black folk it was basically whites versus Mexicans. And so then in the midst of the movie, her husband asked the white rancher's son, "You don't like Mexicans, do you?" Right? He said, "It's not like I don't like you. I just don't understand your culture." And he says, "Well, I don't understand your culture either." Right? So the whole time they're in America, his wife's trying to get him to speak more English and less Spanish for them to fit in. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So they had this coming to terms. They understand the fight at the border. He's reunited with his wife who gives birth to a little girl. Whatever. So the whole time, Adela and her husband fought to get out of Mexico, only to fight to get back into Mexico. That's the Purge breakdown. I was watching Tombstone the other night. One of the best Westerns. Tombstone, y'all. Kurt Russell. The guy with the mustache, Sam Elliott. And then dude from Aliens, Hicks, right? Okay. There's one scene in Tombstone I totally forgot. Does anybody remember what happens when Virgil became sheriff of Tombstone? Does anybody remember what happens when Virgil became sheriff of Tombstone? And I guarantee none of y'all remember that shit. I guarantee none of y'all remember that shit. Okay, so what was Virgil's first official act as sheriff? Remember, because he didn't tell Wyatt, right? Remember, it was Virgil and the youngest brother, right? Kirk's like, or Wyatt's like, man, we're trying to leave this. We didn't even want to get back to gunfighting. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The rule that Virgil instituted in Tombstone, the town folks were upset, right? He says to the town folks, yes, Val Kilmer, the worst Batman. Shit, I don't know about all that, bro, but okay. Yes, Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, one of his best roles ever. Virgil tells the townsfolk, he says to them, I'm not taking away your guns. I'm not saying you can't have guns. You just can't have guns in this town. Nikki P, let me get you the fuck up out of here. Nobody tells me what to fucking do. Blitoct, get your motherfucking ass up out of here. Go watch somebody else shit. Once again, hey, Samika, hey. My bad. American Negro, Ms. Naya, Macadon, Conspiracy, my guy, what's going on? I'm sorry, I kind of got the rambling. All right. Virgil said no guns in the town. Remember that. Just in case you watch Tombstone again, the whole gun thing.